fire inside.
Welcome to another episode of Ringmasters, where we discuss the latest in boxing news and share techniques of the sweet science. Are you ready, fight fans? Let's glove up.
What's going on, sir?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Ray?
Doing all right, man. Good to see your face, man. How you doing?
Same here. I'm good, man. I'm good. Just got to the gym.
You had your mask on. You must be outside somewhere, man.
Yeah, man. You know, stay at the gym. Let me show you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, man, you at the gym right now.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we cutting into workout time, huh?
Hey.
Hey, man.
You know,
well, we appreciate you taking the time out, to talk to us. So, listen, man, where are you from? That's the first thing I want to know. Originally, where are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. Now, there's a lot of people out there that I know already. I know Danielle Chambers, she's out there. I know Reggie Johnson, he's out there. Who else I know out there? Brown, I forgot Brown's first name, but he's out there. It's a lot of guys out there. So y'all, boxing is big over there, man. I don't know, man. I'm hoping that we get that same type of competition here in Atlanta. We usually have it, but not in heavyweights. We got a lot of middleweight.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's basically how it is in a lot of places.
Yeah, so we need somebody. What's going on, Jadon? And what's up, Miss Cavalier? How you doing, Jim? But yeah, we need some guys of your pedigree, man, out here in the A, as far as heavyweights, I can't run the show myself, All right. But listen, man,
Yes, sir.
you're from Houston, Texas. How'd you get into the fight game, man? What made you want to fight?
When I was in my teens, I was always getting in trouble. I worked out. I was on a football team, and one guy was like, "Hey, we're gonna put you in the boxing." And so I first walked into the gym. I was like, 16? And then I stopped. I was like, no, I don't want to do it. And then when I turned like 22 years old, I hooked up with this guy named Roscoe Hill, and he introduced me to George Foreman. And I started working with them.
Okay, now, did I hear you wrong? How old were you when you hooked up with Roscoe?
22.
You were 22. Oh, okay. So I guess for that's kind of late in the game for some people, I guess,
Yeah,
yeah,
for some people, but
yeah. So
I was working with people.
liked it.
Huh?
So I say, so 22, you started boxing and you fell in love with it.
Yes, sir. It became a passion. And then I got to start working for George Foreman with his son, George Monk Foreman. So, that was a good experience, too. We did that for a long time.
How was that, man? What is George like, man? I only had one conversation with George in my lifetime, but it was minute to him, but it was everything to me. But
he's very humble. It was a good experience. He's very humble, and, it was like, it was strictly work. When we get in there, we spar, we train.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is he about the business usually? Or is he like what we usually see? He's all smiles on TV selling grills. But is he like that?
No, you get both sides.
Oh,
in the gym. You get both sides in the gym. So, yeah.
Okay, well, that's good, man. Well, tell George I said hello if you see him. But yeah, the
will
conversation
soon.
I had with him, and I'll just tell this real quick. My wrist was hurting. I was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I was at the gym, and my wrist was hurting really bad because I had just started boxing. Everybody knows when you first start boxing, your wrist hurts. And so I didn't know what to do about it. I thought something was wrong with me. I had limp wrist, And I asked him, what should I do? He said, hey, man, you gotta get on the weights. You have to lift weights to strengthen your wrist.
Oh, yeah, that's what I be doing.
Yeah, and so from then on, man, I've been good with it, man. So it didn't mean anything to him to tell me that, but for me, I was like, it was like,
That's
advice
what it
from the
was.
from the from the king, Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Lopez? What's up, Michelle? How are you? Glad you're tuning in. So, again, how would you describe your style, Yondell, man? Uh, when I'll let you answer that first, and then I'll give you my opinion. How would you describe your style of boxing?
I'm more like a jab. I like to use my jab a lot with people, abandon. So that's basically what I work on. And everything that follows after, the basic is the easiest is 1, 2. A lot of people abandon that. When you look at everybody boxing now, they throwing punches coming from way from Mexico with no power behind it and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's all about the technique, and that's what I've been focusing on. And since I've been back, I've been, like slowly gradually getting up to that next level of becoming a good jab.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to bring into the industry. That's
Okay.
what I'm going to bring into the industry.
All right.
Not
There you
want to
go.
bring, but that's what I'm
There,
going to bring it into the industry.
there you go. That's what you're
So,
gonna do. Have the best
yes,
jab in the
sir.
business.
Yes, sir. And that's what they stress, and that's what they emphasize the whole lot. Your champion, you set them up, and
Yeah.
then you find your distance, you get your measure. Everything follows behind that jab, and everybody abandoning. They start just
Yeah.
throwing. They
And
want
then
to throw combinations. Don't even start. They leave their combinations with a whole hook or something, and no jab.
yeah,
And,
I
some
think
people.
people get discouraged because they don't see the effectiveness, immediate effectiveness of the jab. But the jab has an effect over you over time. It just does.
And it's not even you really. Once you learn how to use it, because you can blind your opponent if he's keeping a jab in their face. You
Yeah.
know, you keep that jab hand in their face and you come behind, they can't really do too much because they're going to be like, how I'm going to get past your jab. Or you going to hit them good enough with your jab and they're going to be like, I'm going to respect your jab.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
Exactly, man. Well, that's good. When I looked at the couple fights I saw, um, just initially looking at you, I would have thought that you were like a brawler, from your size and whatnot, because you're 6'4", right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, you were the same size, man. So I was like, oh yeah, the big dude. He probably gonna just go in there and just clean house. But you're not a brawler though. You are definitely a boxer and somewhat of a counterpuncher. I've seen. You know,
Yes, sir. We were.
yeah. On that first fight I saw, and I forget the opponent's name. I
One
think you mentioned that
Torres.
you were a little not Torres, the other guy. Um,
I don't remember the other guy.
all right. But I guess you were a little tired because you were fighting off of your back foot. You were backing
Yeah.
up, but that jab was still out there. You know,
Oh, you talking about the
so
last
that's
one?
what I remember.
Yeah. um,
Yeah,
it was good
you
like
were
that.
backing up, man. I was like, yeah, but you were a boxer though. You were really a boxer, kind of reminiscent of Riddick Bowe, really. You know, to me,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So have you
Thank you,
gotten
man.
compared to him? The
No, I get
comparison?
compared to George. I get compared to one dude called me Ernie Shavers. Oh yeah, that far
Oh,
back. Look at
hey
you.
man, now that's a compliment there. Now I've heard guys say that Ernie Shapers was the hardest hitting puncher in the industry back in the
Yeah,
day. Yeah, so that's
that's
pretty
what I was
sweet.
told too.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
yeah,
that's a great compliment, man. Um, who were you influenced by?
I'm influenced by mostly by George because when I and Muhammad Ali because that's like my greatest fight. Right now I would study that fight forever. I would literally study that fight forever because that's like both of them was doing what they were supposed to do in that fight. And the new fighters that I see now, I realize they abandoned the old fighting style,
Mhm.
and and that's like the most important thing. And then George Hill, not even just as a fight, as a human being, and how he was able to take the knowledge that he learned from the ring and help out everybody else in the world. You know, and as far as the knowledge goes, you know, writing books, not just selling the grill, it's more like writing books, reaching out to the communities, being a role model, being a leader, being an influencer. You know, when you speak to this man, you see he still smile, and when you look at him on the fight, you be like, I'm not gonna want to talk to this dude. So you know, that's how it is, and that's how I carry myself too, because I carry myself as an humble individual.
Yeah.
And when in the ring, you know, I still be humble, but at the same time, it's business.
Okay. Well, yeah, man, that's a great role model, man. George been around a long time, man. He knows the ins and out of the boxing arena. Um, and you've gotten some of your actual fight style from him. One thing I didn't see that you had, and I don't see too many boxers do this, but George did it. He has the cross arm style. You know,
Yeah,
people don't
I
do that
said,
anymore. I'm like, that was a great style. I wonder why people don't do that. It was if I can recall, him and Joe Frazier actually used that. You know,
yeah,
yeah,
yes,
man.
sir.
I want to say Archie Moore used it too. You know, I
I,
study old people. Huh?
I don't know because I have Roscoe Hill. That's who's my trainer is. He worked with George. He used to spar with George Foreman, and he worked with Archie Moore and a lot of more people.
See that? Yeah, man. I know what I'm
So
talking
I
about.
have the old school guy with me. He's
Yeah.
67, and I mean this man can go like he's 22.
Hey, man. Hey, now that's something to appreciate because a lot of people don't have access to that type of experience, man. You know.
And that's right. He says that every time we in there, that he takes it so passionate. That's how I know when I came back to Houston. When I returned to Houston, I was actually dealing with someone who was passionate about their work.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
know, and that's what I love about it, working with him. And I feel like he can take me to where I need to be because he was there when George Foreman came back,
Yeah.
so he
Yeah.
know
Yeah. I
what it
remember that.
takes.
That's good, man. That's great. Um, how do you handle shorter fighters? Because
It's always been
now
a
I'm thinking
problem.
about now I'm thinking about Torres now. Because you fought a guy named Juan Torres. Now me and you talked previously anyway, and I told you, I said, man, that's a big dude. And he was like,
Yes,
yeah,
he
but
was.
you need to see. I worked with him though, and you did. You put up a good fight with that guy, man. And
And
it
he
could
was
have went
six.
either way. But how do you handle the shorter fighter?
Well, my short fighters, that's the jab part. You have to have that jab but still like you gotta still move with that jab. You jab, move, still because you let a million on you. Ain't no telling what they gonna do to you.
Right.
And then you know you have to fight them from the outside. And then you
Uh-huh.
know, and it's kind of complicated because you're used to fighting people you're hiding up. And then
Yeah.
as soon as you go down, it's gonna be like, oh man.
Yeah.
So how do I adapt to this? It is about being able to adapt at that moment. You
Uh-huh.
know,
Well, do you find yourself having to have more footwork? Is it more challenging?
my footwork. Someone told me that my footwork was more like a Joe Louis. Like I
Okay,
really don't have too much good footwork, so I
okay,
got to work on my footwork. That's the number thing I have to do. So you know,
yeah,
I'm for a big guy. He's like, man, you got to work on your footwork, and you know, that's like so. That's
yeah,
also in the process too.
yeah. Well, you gotta even look. The footwork comes with conditioning, man. So I know you're gonna
Yeah.
put in the work though, but that's the only thing that helps footwork. You gotta condition and get in there and what do you call shadow box for like 3 rounds or something inside the ring. You know, you just gotta do
Yeah,
it,
and
bro.
dance around. I be trying. I be doing it. I'm not gonna say I'm trying. I be doing it, but I'm getting better. I'm elevating. It's a slow process, but I'm getting
Well,
there. As
that's good.
long as I don't give up.
Yeah, you better than me, man. I don't think I got the knees to do it no more. I'm older, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have the knees to do it no more, man. I want to up here, but the knees won't let me.
But my
You know,
knees will. My knees will let me run 6 miles and still do something else.
wow, you run six, man. What is your conditioning like? What do you
Yeah,
do though? Like you run 6 miles?
my
That's good.
conditioning. See, when I was in Vegas, I was working with Kelsey Banks, and um that's from the old school too. and he'll get me up and he'll go running. They said that he have me running. And then like now I can get up and I can run like 4 miles without even stopping. So getting 6 miles, I'm pushing.
Yeah.
So like uh run with Roscoe Hill, he has me working with this big jump rope he called Big Yellow.
Okay.
And it's like a 4 pound jump rope. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh man,
So it works
I
with
can
the
only imagine
condition.
that. Jeez. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you're gonna get it, man. That's gonna benefit you at the end. So that's great, bro. Um,
but you have to get a lot of sparring in now. And you know, that's another thing, it's a shortage on heavyweight.
yeah.
So I have to spar with these light guys. With these light guys it's gonna make me faster.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Because you gotta. They're a lot faster anyway. Naturally, the lighter guys faster.
Yeah.
But you keep working with them, your footwork will get better. Your punches will get faster. You gonna start moving around that ring, and that's what we need in big heavyweights. We need that. You know.
Yes, sir.
Um, so listen, you've overcome a lot of adversity in your life, man. And if I got it correct, and I'm pretty sure I do, what happened back in 2011? You were a victim of a hate crime, right?
Yes, sir, I was. It was 4 white guys attacked me for being black. And that's when I was working with Big George and them. And then they was like, you know, they tried to get the best of them. They would say anybody was do that was a black man. And I just happened to be there at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And they got, it was a tough battle because it was four.
Okay, now,
And I managed to get all four.
okay, now start from the
Yeah,
beginning if you don't mind. It's okay to talk about it. I'm asking. Is it okay to talk about
yeah, it's cool.
it?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
it is.
Now, where were you? You were coming out of the gym, or where were you going? And how did it start?
Um, I was at a bus stop and I was sitting there waiting. It was about midnight. I was having at lunch with my little supposed to be daughter at the time. Her DNA said otherwise, but at the time I didn't know.
Right.
but
Hey, man, I understand.
but and when I was sitting there, like they just came out of nowhere, and I was on the phone, and he was like, "Hey, bro, you got the time?" And I was like, "Nah." He said, "Why you call that in a bro? We don't call no in bro." And I was like, "What did he say?" And he said, "You heard him like that in word, this, in word
Yeah.
that, the copy in word like 4 times." By that time, they was all surrounding me, and then so I stood up, and mind you, when I stood up, like I said, I'm 6'4", so they was all shorter than me.
Yeah.
And I put my back against the pole. The first thing my conscience was like, "Remember your training." And one swung at me, I waved. And this time, I guess I just blacked out because when I looked up, I had all four of them against the road, against the wall. I'm fighting all four of them on the wall.
Yeah.
And one of them grabbed me by my ankles. And when he grabbed me, I couldn't move. So I let my conscience guide me. My conscience was like, "All right, you can't do nothing, so you steady swinging, they going to get you." And I was telling myself to roll over, lay down, roll over to the street. So I laid down on my own. And when I got ready to roll over, one of them, the one that had my ankles, instead of him getting up, he laid on top of me. Yeah, and then the other three stuck my head in, and
Oh
I
no.
blacked out. Yeah, I was out of there, but with the faith of God, with the will of God, I was still there.
Yeah.
I went blacked out, came back to, blacked out, came back to. Then, man,
It's all right.
and
Take
then,
your
and then, they just like walked off, and they thought I was dead. They
time.
thought I was dead. They walked off, and they laughing and joking. But and I woke up, and my cousin was like, "Kill him." I got up, and instead of me running away, I ran to them. I went back to them, and I turned, they were walking away. So I turned one around, I hear them, he fell. I went to the next, mind you, I have no strength in my body. I was just out pure adrenaline. So
Mm-hmm.
I went to the next one. I hit him. He fell. The other two, they come back, and we fighting again. And then the other two that fell, they get back up, and we out fighting again. And then that's when the police came, and I was like, that's them right there. So they took off to go get the four that took off running. And they had me in handcuffs too. And then he asked me, he said, so what happened? And when I told him what happened, um, they let me out of hand. They released me from the handcuffs. I went to the hospital, and the next thing I know, I had like 6, 7 detectives, different people coming to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was that big. I didn't even know it was considered a hate crime at the moment. The next thing I know, it was on the news the next morning, and it was on the news the next morning, and then I went and did interviews with Cornell X, Jerry Muhammad. It was a whole nother level I wasn't even expecting it to go to.
Right.
And so with the boxing part, I just stepped away from it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it took me so long to come back. 'Cause I had to get that mentally, you know what I'm saying, like digest that mentally into my system. And it took a long time for that.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I almost gave up on the boxing.
Yeah, and when I saw that, man, I was like, man, this dude really went through a lot of stuff, man. And that's something that we could, none of us want to go through. But it's
yes, sir.
I'm glad. I'll just say this: I'm glad that you made it through it. I'm sorry that happened to you, man. And it's a shame that people still act the way that they do in 2021, and at that time it was 2011, man. It's a pitiful shame, but I thank God that he got you through that, man. And it looked like the NAACP and some other people came out to support you with that. So that's good, man. So you say what did it do? How did it affect your career? So you stepped away from it, but what did it do mentally for you?
Mentally, it made me feel like, what am I going to do now? Like, so I tried to go get a regular 9 to 5. I tried everything, but it wasn't nothing working out. And then I just came up. I woke up one day and said, "Man, there need to be something different in this world." And so I was like, I need to share my light, my story, and I need to get back into my career. I need to get back into it. And it was a struggle getting back into it because everything's coming from me, coming out of my pocket, barely any support, anything like that. So I just did what I did. I kept my faith and I kept walking and I kept pushing, and here I am now. I mean, we're doing an interview now, so I'm glad I'm going the right direction. Thank God. So
yeah. Well, look, man, that's another reason to root for you, man. So I'm definitely gonna be cheering for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's just because you came from you came so far, bro. So we're gonna definitely root for you. Who would you want to fight? Getting back, to the boxing thing. Is there anybody you would want to fight?
You know what? It's funny because I'm gonna answer that. It's not no one specific person. It's not no one specific person. I want to fight the ones that's walking around here with these 20-0 or 10-0. Because when you look at their record, I'll be like, why is this guy 10-0 and this guy over here got 10-0? What they put them together, So I'm looking at everybody with no losses, because the underdog. Because it's like y'all not really fighting. It's like you want to pick. No, I want to fight. Yeah, and so I'm coming in to set an example.
Man. The cherry pickers, man. They that's it.
Yeah.
And I never like that because you never get to see the best fights when that happens. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So you always, you'll get to see that particular boxer knock out somebody. Yeah, you'll see that. But you don't see the best fights when they all
when you put them two together, that's gonna be a good fight.
The who?
When you put that 10-0 together with the other 10-0, that's gonna be a good fight because they both got something to protect.
Right, exactly.
That's gonna be a good fight. That's gonna bring you back to Holyfield days.
Yeah, they don't want to fight each other, and like
I know
they'll run away from you because you'll give them hell,
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. Well, that's cool. Let's see here. So I asked you, who would you like to fight? Tell us something about Yondell that no one else knows. Tell us something about yourself that
Uh,
nobody else knows.
that I am a very lovable guy, man. I like to go meditate. I like to when I have my fun. Sometimes I like to be alone because it's just like so much craziness around, and I want to help to make the world better. I want to make a change, help make the world change. You know, there's so much negativity going on within our community, within the world, and we need some light. And I want. This is what I'm also doing this, and I want to help spread my light, shine my light, share my experience. You know,
Yeah. Do you do any volunteering in the community now?
no, because I'm still focusing on the career, so I'm going back and forth from Houston to Vegas
Oh, okay.
and things like that.
Okay.
So, but whenever someone need me, I will always be there.
Okay.
If I
Well,
have
look, I'm
time, I
glad
will
you
be
put
there.
that out there. I'm glad you put that out there. Hopefully, someone sees the show and give you a call, man. You got any fights coming up?
We're working on one. I was supposed to have one in Connecticut, but I don't think that was going to go through. So we're working on one for October 11th. I'm thinking of October 11th, Roscoe, somewhere around there. He said,
October 11th. Okay. Well, look, you could
"Yes,
just
sir."
when you just post it and you can share it with me. I'll post it. I'll share it too, man. I'll put you up there. What's going on, Jessica? I see you. How you doing? Let me go ahead and ask this because we're almost done. Let me go ahead and ask this question, and maybe Mr. Roscoe know in the back. Riddick Bowe, famous heavyweight boxer Riddick Bowe had 43 wins and 1 loss. Who did he lose to, and in what year did he lose? Come on, y'all. Somebody got to know
Riddick,
this.
I know who it is. But I'm gonna ask him. Riddick Bowe, 43
Somebody
wins and
got
one
to
loss.
know
Who
this.
did he lose to and when? What year? Everybody knows Holyfield, my favorite. Yeah, Holyfield. What year was it? 92? Wasn't sure about the year.
Yeah, no, somebody
But we
don't
know
know.
it's a Holyfield,
Somebody
that
said Jake
trilogy.
Paul. Somebody said, "Oh, I think that's Sonny." Sonny said, "Knock out Jake Paul." I think he's talking to you. I think he
Oh,
wants you to knock out
yeah.
Jake Paul.
And
I
somebody
don't
else
know why.
said that too.
I don't know what the big deal about Jake Paul is. He's not a real
Me
boxer.
neither.
He's a street fighter, and if he gets in there with somebody with a little bit of skill, he's really gonna get hurt, man. You know?
Yeah, and that's what my coach was saying. I need you to get in there with Jake Paul.
Yeah. Did you see?
He,
Let me answer. I
Sabrina.
see you talking about let me answer. That's Sabrina back there. She want to answer the question. You can't get a shirt. You live with me. She want a shirt. If you get the answer right, I'm gonna get you a shirt.
So
All right.
it was Holyfield. But was it
Uh,
92 or 93?
it was.
I'm
All
not sure
right.
the
I
year.
don't want to tell you.
I bet you it was 93.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
There it is. So it was Holyfield in 1993. That was Riddick Bowe's only loss. All right.
I remember that loss.
Yeah. Yeah. All right then. Well, listen. That was how can your fans get in touch with you? We're gonna put that out there and get your information out there.
Okay, they can reach me on Facebook at Keith Johnson. Or they can reach me on Instagram as black_Nike_74.
Mhm.
Or they can Gmail me at KeithJohnson0809 at gmail.com.
Okay, all right, that's great, man. And so all the fans, if you're in Texas, hey, y'all look up Mr. Yondell Johnson, support him if he's on television. If he's doing any interviews, make sure you go ahead and find out the day and watch him, help support this young brother, and watch him become a superstar. All right. Now I do
Thank
have
you.
a sponsor here. For all of your bartending needs, whether it's a reception or a fight party, call Miss Brianna Sowers at 323-427-8648. Again, That's Creative Bartending at 323-427-8648. And my brother, I sure appreciate your time today. You know, any
Yes,
last
sir.
word?
I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Hey, man, my pleasure, man. So you have a good night, okay?
You too, man. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.